Hi, Les. I'm just doing an audio check. If you could please reply in the chat if you can hear me, that would be great. Hi, Les. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much.
I call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call, please.
Director Hodges,
Here.
Director Rosen,
Here.
Director Hatcher,
Here.
Director Lamnin. Here. President Andrade.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, on the closed session, we had two items that we took action on, and I think here we go. Liability claim 2.7, and we accepted the claim for $2,305.92, and 2.8, there was another liability claim, and we rejected that under provisions of Government Code 54956.9 E3. Okay. And now we referred that to our insurance broker, I think. Okay. Oral communications, I thought. Okay, there's no oral communications. And then public comments, there's no public here. Is there anyone online for public?
There is no one online for
Okay.
public.
Okay, we'll move right ahead to the consent calendar. This consists of 9.1, approval of draft minutes of the last meeting. 9.2, approval of payment to Humana for the following employee benefits: dental, vision, life insurance, accidental death, dismemberment, and long-term disability for fiscal years 2025, 26, 26, and 27. 9.3, it's an authorization for the general manager to approve a change order for small project constructions, parking lot repairs. 9.4, authorize general manager to approve change orders to the construction contract for sod installation at the Tennyson Park renovation project. And is there anyone who wishes to pull an item from the consent calendar? Director Rosen?
Yes, can I pull 9.4?
9.4, okay. Any other requests? Okay, can I have a motion on the rest of the items?
I'll second.
Well, someone has to motion
I'll move.
first, so, okay, it was motion by Director Lamnin and seconded by Director Hodges. So all the items except 9.4, please vote. And then we may have a stall on the computer system here for voting. So do you want to call the roll for that?
Yes, or at the.
Is it coming up, or did I? I'm sorry, I'm gonna hit refresh and
Thank you.
Here's a refresh one.
it's not,
That one. Yeah, my finger doesn't work.
mine's not working.
Okay, I
So-
can do a roll call. vote.
Okay,
There you go.
Director Hodges,
Yeah.
Director Rosen,
Yes.
Director Hatcher,
Yes.
Director Lamnin. Aye. President Andrade.
aye.
Thank you.
And so now it's working. Thank you. But at any rate, it's passes unanimously. So 9.4, I believe. You want to discuss it?
So I had earlier, I had some concerns about, I want to acknowledge that I had some concerns about the hybrid Bermuda grass that's being proposed. And thank you, General Manager Wheeler, and thank you, Mr. Taylor, for answering some of my concerns. And I think that I think you've addressed them. But if you want to talk about the project a little bit.
So good evening, President Andrade and honorable members of the board. So at Tennyson Park, we are looking at we are installing Tahoma 31, which is a hybrid Bermuda grass variety. The reasons we were looking at this option was because we wanted to figure out how we could accomplish a couple things. One was reduce our water consumption through the turf variety, and we wanted to provide a high quality product to the stakeholder community. So we know with Tahoma 31, it's a turf that's very resilient and can handle the rigors and the demands placed on it through cleats, continuous use, and everyone knows that we get high demand for our soccer fields, our softball fields, and we wanted a turf variety that can withstand that. So that's where Tahoma Bermuda came into play. It's also one of the varieties that you see at many sports fields, not necessarily what you'd see in a high school context, but you'd see it at, like, for example, if you have it at San Jose State University, you have it at Stanford on their football field, on their practice fields. You have it at Cal State East Bay on the baseball field. So you see this in a lot of different areas. Now, we're not trying to be one of those places, but we want to see how we can provide a comparable level of service to our community members. And that's where it all started. So we're really excited how this is going to unfold. And perhaps this could be a model for us or something we consider for our sports fields in the future. Megan's team is working, very fast to have this installed. And, we think this is going to really be a good thing for our department and for the district.
And if I guess what I'm hearing is that this is kind of going to be a pilot program for at this field to see if it works here, and then we may move on elsewhere.
Yes, we know we're very confident in how it's going to work. I think the question is how we if we're able to install it across other properties when the opportunity arises. And so, I mean, that's what we're really looking forward to. And one of the things that I didn't mention is that with this turf, it can be mowed at a lower level. So we've received feedback from many stakeholders, some through email, some I've talked to in person. And so particularly for soccer and baseball, they want a field that has a lower grass length. One of the benefits of Bermuda is you can mow it as low as a ½ inch. Many places are 3/8 of an inch. We're going to mow at 1.5 inch. And we pilot that proof of concept at Sports Park. We did it at Rancho Verde. We've done it at, where's the other? We've done it at, I can't think of the other place, but we've done it at several sites, and it's been very well received. People speak to just the overall quality of play. So we believe that in time, this will, 5 Canyons, thank you, Jim. So we believe that this is going to allow us the opportunity to, in the long run, but maybe look at adjusting maybe the prices for the fields because the quality that we're providing. So that's a down the line concept or idea, but we know that the shorter mow length, the resiliency of the turf, and the potential for water savings is something that we really are excited about.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I was concerned about it going dormant like a lot of Bermuda does and it getting spread.
Yeah,
But you've answered my questions on that, and
Yes.
I think it's better. It's going to stay. It's more cold tolerant, and you've got a plan of using a different mower for it anyway because
Yes.
it's going to be mowed lower. So that addresses the concerns I had. So it's great.
yeah. So that is thanks for bringing that up. So that is one of the downsides. I guess you can say it's a downside for using Bermuda, that it goes dormant in the winter seasons. So when we say go dormant, it turns like a brownish color, almost like a paper bag. So the way that people get around that is they overseed it with a perennial. So that's what we plan to do. And fortunately, this variety that we have installed is an overseeded variety, so we won't need to do that this year. But that is a very common practice. As I mentioned, I was at Cal State East Bay Friday, and I spoke to their ground staff, and they have Bermuda, and they were actually overseeding it while I was there. And so that's the approach they're taking. And I'm not saying that we're following their model, but this is just a real world example of somebody who's using it, and we're gonna be following that too.
All right.
All right.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Great. Any questions, or do you want to make a motion?
I motion that it goes forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll second.
Moved by Director Rosen, second by Director Hatcher. I do have one question, so I did observe some soccer people already in there, and you're gonna have to kind of keep them off somehow. So
Yeah, that just, I think it just speaks to the demand
Yeah.
for a soccer field in that area. And what we'll do is we'll see if we can have our PMWs, during their shift, monitoring the site and maybe get extra ranger rounds in that area as well to
Okay.
remind the community to stay off the field until it's been open to the public.
Great.
And maybe explain the plan,
Mhm.
both in verbally and maybe with some signage, just so people know that, you know, we're making this better for you. So
Yes.
could you help us help you kind of thing?
Yeah, will do.
Okay, with that, let's vote. I think, so my thing's working, so let's see if it works. At least I have it up here. All right. Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Moving along, we have a written communication from Save the Bay. Do you want to read it or just,
Sure.
everyone got it in there?
So as you're aware, President Andrade, you went on a tour of the shoreline. And the people who put on that tour were Save the Bay and coordinated it. They reached out to use vans and they wrote us this nice letter thanking us for arranging vans, our drivers, and how it helped the tour run smoothly. And then they thanked Andy Stevens, Armando Garibay, Ryan Rojas, and Eric Clanton.
Okay, great. Thank you. So public hearings, there are none, unfinished business, none. So the new business, speaking of the shoreline, is 13.1, approval of a 77-acre land transfer from an 81-acre shoreline parcel at 4901 Breakwater to the East Bay Regional Park District.
Good evening, President Andrade, Honorable Board. Brian Lasco is going to talk about the incredible work and time he's had to spend on this particular project. As you're aware, they want to do a model model marsh restoration, and we're going to put a 16-foot high berm across our little piece of property there. And we asked them if they'd buy it. And Brian can fill you in on the rest is history.
Looks a little different than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so you can see here, we're gonna be, no.
Pretty dry out there.
Yeah, it's very, very dry. Things are changing out there drastically. So, no, it's better. Good evening, honorable board members. Brian Lasco, Assistant Director of Capital. Here to introduce this transaction that, as Jim mentioned, has been a long time coming, and I'm very, very, very happy to be making this presentation to you so we can close this deal. Hard owns the property that you can see here in yellow as well as in purple. It is one single parcel. It is 82 acres, 77 acres roughly, as you can see, on Bayside, and a 5-acre, and the lower kind of smaller triangle in purple is about 5 acres. It was acquired by the district in 1980 from the Leslie Salt Company. It was a direct pass through from the city of Hayward, and so they owned it for one day. And it has sat there. It is known in the area as the Hard Marsh. As you can see right here, there's a reference right there of the East Bay Regional property. I'm going to change the slide real quickly. They themselves are, let's see. Oh, sorry. They themselves are renovating, have major plans to renovate their marsh, which is the East Bay Regional Marsh. It's a whole series of ponds. It's 145 acres. It processes the water from the adjoining Hayward sanitary water plant. But the one thing that they need is they're going to need a lot of dirt, and they actually are these parcels are totally landlocked, and so they're very interested in obtaining the marsh so that they can get better access to Breakwater Drive, which is the frontage road right here that's parallel to the 92. So I'm just going to go back to the map. So it's a very important acquisition for East Bay Regional's furthering of their marsh renovation. But the biggest coordination item, which has taken quite a long time and quite a bit of talking, is that dealing with the Bay Trail, which is shown here in the purple. And then this is a diagram that's made by East Bay Regional. So you can see it's purple is the piece of trail it's in question. The trail continues up there in the kind of dashed yellow and black. And so in discussions with the Bay Trail is important because the district has an operating agreement with East Bay Regional Parks since 2001. So for every piece of trail that crosses our property, there's a whole set of rules and as to how they're going to be managed and who's going to manage it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very important, long discussion that occurred, but the term of the deal is that we are going to transfer this land for one whole American dollar. We're going to East Bay Regional is going to pick up all the transfer costs. We're going to split the parcel, as you can see in yellow and purple. There's going to be a split right around the neck for the smaller part, so that we can maintain or what we refer to as the retained parcel, because the Shoreline Center sits right there and then kind of the white little square there. And then East Bay Regional will then become owner of the sale parcel. When we sell that property to them, the grant deed will have what they refer to as a reserved easement on top of there. That easement will give the district opportunity to use the Bay Trail to gain access to the south of the remaining hard properties out there. That's the Oliver Salt Marsh. We are then also, because of the trail would that now be crossing our retained parcel, we have to then in turn, we have to produce a trail easement and give it to East Bay Regional so that they can drive across our property. And just to make it interesting, there's a certain portion of the trail, a couple 100 feet of trail that avoids a water facility to help with the drainage, that goes up onto yet another parcel, which is owned by the State Lands Commission and the City of Hayward. So we had to wait for them so that we can get into a sublease, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been a long time.
Yes.
And there's not going to be any. So what we're going to do is there's also a trail lease on the property to East Bay Regional that we're going to sunset. So we're just cleaning all of this up. We're getting rid of the lease when we sell the property. And then we're going to deal with this in the easements, and then all of that modifies the operating agreement, so that because in the future, both entities want to start dealing with it through an easement rather than an actual operating agreement. So with all of that, we're going to move ahead. This has already been approved by the East Bay Regional Board of Directors in December of last year. We have received confirmation from the state Housing and Community Development Department, who manages the State Surplus Lands Act, and this is exempt from that. And it's also, the transaction is also exempt from CEQA, as it's not a project. So with that, I will read the staff recommends the Board of Directors by resolution approve the transfer of an approximately 77 acre portion of the 81.6 acre district shoreline parcel, the sale parcel, at 4901 Breakwater Drive in Hayward to East Bay Regional Park District, and authorize the general manager to 1, finalize the purchase and sale agreement for the transfer of the sale parcel and other such documents necessary to complete the transaction, and 2, execute the trail easement to the benefit of East Bay Regional Park District on the portion of the parcel remaining with HARD, that is the retained parcel, and 3, authorize the general manager to terminate the lease for the 1982 real property lease with East Bay Regional for its management of the Bay Trail on the sale parcel. And 4, amend the 2001 operating agreement with the East Bay Regional Parks for the parts of the Bay Trail on the district properties to reflect the appropriate modifications from this transaction. And 5, authorize general manager to enter into a sublease with East Bay Regional for the short portion of Bay Trail that traverses the adjoining parcel, connecting the trail portions of the sale parcel and the retained parcel as leased from East Bay Regional from the California State Lands Commission. I've finished my report.
Great. Well, I guess we ask for a motion and then we discuss it. So
No passing the motion, no reason to discuss.
So moved.
it was moved by Director Rosen. Go ahead. Yep.
Second.
Do I have a second, please?
I did.
Okay, second by Director Lamnan, and then, did you have a question or?
I do, but.
Yeah.
I get this, good job. Thank you
Thank
for the report. Does the 77 acres, does that go against our total park acreage? So was this ever included on our total park acreage? I mean,
Still park acreage in Hayward, so I would assume.
Yeah.
Whereas Acres Falls not owned by. us,
Got it.
but has the park.
yeah, so that was my peripheral question. So
Five per thousand.
Can you bring the map up?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you need to, there we go.
Any other comments? Yeah, please.
A well-deserved.
Yeah.
You can keep going.
This.
No, this is not a single.
Oh.
This is what,
This
is
is
this a
the-
battlefield
I think
promotion?
this is
Yeah, I was gonna say.
First ever 2-star presentation that I've done that just says.
This was a lot, and I do certainly worthy of the 2 stars. So I do add my appreciation.
thank you.
Yeah, and great work.
No, thanks.
And one question.
Yes, please.
So just remind me where the East Bay Regional sort of proposed project access piece, how does that overlay this?
Well,
map?
yes, that's an excellent question. Well, right, it's gonna be kind of right about here. And so the one thing that we've insisted on, pardon me, is that, I mean, in the end, what they're gonna do is they need to go up about 7 or 8 feet to here.
Mm.
And so they're effectively going to build a levee road right there. So, but so the term was, you build your road on your property and you don't affect our property. So you can do whatever you want. But they ultimately have to come down that 8 feet and then to zero out here at Breakwater Avenue. How that occurs is still to be determined.
We were very concerned that when this all started, we were concerned, right, with just dirt and everything and why your levies, why the grant, why did I write the letter of support for you? You could have done our marsh too, maybe, right? Like, could have been a bigger project, but at the end of the day, we were pretty insistent that it wasn't a trail anymore. It was gonna be a road and your project and your millions of dump trucks full of dirt can't affect the use of the San Francisco Bay Trail and the Interpretive Center.
Yeah, and good luck with to protect because that's a salt harvest mouth preserve right
Mhm.
there. So,
Yep.
yeah, but thank you for that.
Yeah, and all the regulatory stuff that goes along with putting dirt in there. But
Exactly.
it's with sea level rise, it's a changing world. And
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
Peter,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Thank you.
I think I know the answer to this. I just want to put it out there. This doesn't impact our percentages with HASPA significantly, does it?
No,
Because as far as land, yeah.
it reduces our ownership. I don't know the percentage. We're at 19%. I should have looked that up, but so.
And then East Bay Regionals can go up again.
Yes, but we've opted ourselves into the highest tier anyways, so it doesn't really affect us, so that we can stay shoulder to shoulder with Hayward and East Bay Regional.
And I think that's a great question. But I think if we can get to the next parcel now that this one's done. And if that reduces our shoreline presence more and it reduces our stake and reduces our about the shoreline, then that might be okay at the end of the day.
Any other questions? So I just want to say one thing, the idea is that the trail in purple, and I guess the other parts, those are eventually going to be underwater. That's not going to be the trail anymore. The trail is going to go further east along a new levee.
It's going to be on top of the levee
Levee,
road that
right.
they're going to build.
Yeah, and that levee kind of is on the between the green and yellow. I mean,
That's
I
right,
think that's
right
more or less the extent. So all the other stuff, the hard property and the parcel A, that's eventually going to be marshland underwater or whatever, and that's just so people know what's going on. And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in 92, but that's going to have to be adjusted. And it's not our
Caltrans, they're actively looking at that right now,
Yeah.
so they're part of
Yeah.
part of the
right,
technical advisory committee.
and that's not our problem. So,
And that's
but
currently a trail.
Yeah.
that's there now along that lower levee.
Hmm.
And again, the levee goes up like 10 feet, but then the dirt from that levee has a more gradual slope towards the bay for about 98 feet.
So it's sort of
And
it's
so
kind of that
that's the
horizontal.
natural sea level horizontal levee,
Yeah.
but different without sequestering and all the fancy Orloma stuff or that.
Okay.
But you're correct. If you look at the shoreline master plan, everything starts to run onto the east side of the shoreline property.
Yeah.
Including a potential movement site for the shoreline interpretive center.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
anticipate, actually, that's a good point. Thank you for mentioning that, President Andrade. I mean, you sit on the HASPA trustees, but I would like in the near future to kind of give you a briefing.
Yeah, of what all-
Where all that, because it's pretty fascinating and we're kind of at the forefront of a lot of the discussions around the bay.
Yeah.
With that, so.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, it's going to take years for this to evolve, but it's happening. So
It is, but I was just
Yeah.
out, just a month ago with the king tide and
yeah,
that
no,
thing was
it's
slapping right up underneath the shoreline center. It was a beautiful day. There was no wind and there was no surge.
yeah.
I was like, wow, it's
But
right there.
but in the event of a big
Yeah,
storm
that's right.
and high king tides, yeah, you're going to get some damage. Okay, with that, we have a motion. So if there's no other questions, let's vote. Okay, the motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
And now the fun part, other business. What happened to you, Rick? What's new?
Got a little buddy over here that we, very proud.
That was great.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. I did attend the Madrone ribbon cutting with RCD, and it was a great event. It's good to kind of have a round two of ribbon cutting, and just really want to kind of put our capital team again out there. There's much praise for the work that you guys did with RCD, the evolutionary work, the revolutionary work, the transformational work. I mean, just it hadn't been done. They spoke a very high praise. Supervisor Miley spoke. And as well as a representative from the state. And it was just a good group of individuals that, had a lot of forward thinking praises and much thanks to the partnership with HARD. So you guys could get a good kudos on that one. I did attend the first annual HARD Halloween at the San Lorenzo Community Park there with the animals. So that was great to get and see staff doing such a good job and organizing the people as well as the animals in the dog park section. So that was great to see that going down. I did attend briefly on Sunday just to stop by, see the concert series, the third annual Fun in the Park series that was going on at Kennedy Park. I wasn't there for the band, but it's a great spot. I mean, just again, seeing the setup and how that was going to unfold on an extremely wonderful day in the Bay. I did attend Senator Wahhab's talk. She did it at the down towards the bay into Winton at the Vive Home Center. Just was there, representing myself, obviously, and always have the good hard talk. And she did recognize the work that we were doing. She just said, you guys are doing some great work. So I thought that was excellent to receive. And again, I just want to we're very honored as most of the board attending the staff's Halloween competition, because you guys, to be included in that was very powerful, very very humbling in a way to see you guys do your work so well. You play hard and you compete pretty tough. So thank you, my board, for stepping up to the table and us coming away with a rodent. So sorry, Jim. Get you next year.
Pretty surreal.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you guys. I appreciate you coming out.
Director Lambden.
Good evening. So let's see, stopped by the Cannery Park, the Water Tower Park, and the HOAs there were having their event. And I don't know if they'll do it again, but it's a lot of people. It was a really nice feel of that event. Of course, the RCD ribbon cutting, as Director Hatcher mentioned. The Make-a-thon almost got rained out, but really appreciated the energy and the creativity that went into that event, and all of the opportunities there. That looked really great. And I know I met somebody coming in as we were heading out, and they were very excited about all of the things. So kudos to staff on that. I sat in on, there's a national network called Local Progress, which is local elected officials all across the country. And they were talking about immigration issues and federal issues and and then I also sat in on a local conversation about sort of coordination of services. And one of the questions that came up, of course, we're a sanctuary county and a sanctuary, and Hayward is a sanctuary city, but there might be a gap in terms of illegal like arrests happening on public land. Apparently in some areas, some of these mass arrests where there's no warrant, there's no legal status, things get staged on public land. And so there may be some opportunities there. I'm just kind of, nothing I want action on tonight, but just something that I was kind of looking at and we may look at with other jurisdictions in the area. And then one thing that I do have a question about for my colleagues. So in the capital committee, we talked about La Vista and the opportunity to have from our board to the council, to the city council, to say it's a new day and it's time for a new look at La Vista. And so maybe a letter from authored by Lou, from our board to their board. And I don't have a way to ask you guys about that other than this. So I'm kind of asking, can we, are there sort of nods for that kind of thing? There was support in the committee.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm not sure where staff is on that and what's the.
I've drafted a letter and I meet with you tomorrow morning. I was under the impression we decided to do that. So
Okay.
if we're changing our direction or we're asking for consensus of the board in
I think she
end
just
of
wanted
meeting comment
clarification.
time,
I think she
it's
just
probably
wanted,
not.
Yeah, it was just a clarification. I mean, if we don't need additional direction on it, that's fine. My takeaway from the committee was that we did. So if I misunderstood that, my apologies.
great.
Look away from me if you're like opposed to us writing a letter to the city to say we want to talk about La Vista Park. All right, thanks.
Okay. Director Rosen.
Thanks. I attended with my family the downtown Hayward trunk or treat. And the mayor was very appreciative of HARD. And he said, yeah, and look at their look at the stage. We wouldn't be able to do this right here without the stage. And so it was very good. Lots of families. Again, it's, what we do, the goal that now we're moving towards holding lots of events. There were people from all over Hayward in the area coming down there. Gave away a lot of really nice bikes. Like they're nice track bikes that were $700-800 bikes, disc brakes and suspension stuff on them. Kids were very appreciative, and got to talk to a couple of school board members and city council members while I was there, and got to wander around the public and hear some music and get some food. So that was a really good, fun event. My daughter didn't really grab any candy, but she did grab some books. And I want to thank everyone. I went to the LAFCO conference. Some of you know I went to the Cal State LAFCO conference, and I've been to a lot of conferences, and this was a really good conference. For me, opened my eyes about a couple things. A lot of leadership training, a lot of relevant trainings that were happening there, and I took a lot of notes and made some connections, and I thought it was a really good use of my time, which is.
Where was it?
It was down in San Diego.
Oh, well.
I pretty much didn't leave my hotel the whole time, which was kind of funny. And then again, I want to thank everyone for, especially Rick, for driving me outside my comfort zone for the Halloween party. And I did make a point of grabbing some of the maintenance staff that was at what's the field we have right behind us now? I just totally blanked. Bret Harte. there were 4 or 5 of those guys there, and I said, "Oh, you guys missed out." And they're like, "Well," and I said, "Look, if I can wear this, you guys can dress up next year." So I expect you'll have more participation next year. So thanks, everyone. It was very inspiring, and it was really fun seeing everyone with so many smiles and having fun and getting into things. So it was good. So thanks, everyone.
Okay, Madrone Terrace was a love fest. I really liked the fact that it was about 5 or 6 speakers, and all of them had good things to talk about, hard and what good partners we are. So I hope we have another one of these sometime. The other is the hard Halloween. I never realized how many talented people we had running around here. And that wasn't me, there was somebody else I hired because I'm not good in candy pants.
You did rather well.
But that's all I got to say.
Thanks. I was at the Madrone Terrace and I invited them to come together again next I don't know, it's December maybe or November for a grand opening of the park. So hopefully they'll be done by then. So it's not done yet. It's not over yet. I saw the doggy parade, the doggy Halloween parade, and that was fun. I was kind of surprised how many real devoted. I shouldn't be, but it's just a lot of devoted people there, and it was a lot of fun. The staff just handled it really well, like they had done it a million times. Even though it was the first time, it just seemed like it flowed really well. So thanks for that. And my compliments to the board for winning that thing. Even though I wasn't here, I was still a little bit out of my comfort zone. So thank you for your understanding. But all right. And with that, if there's no other staff, please.
Well, President Rosen.
Andrade.
No, well, sorry, Director Rosen. The fact that you pinked up a beard showed me a lot. I mean, Rick had a great costume and black and red liquor show or whatever. That was great. But you, in my opinion, you probably should have won best costume because you just did your beard pink. It was pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed. You grew it just to make it pink. I mean, Rick, your costume was great, but your beard was red, not pink. Pink was pretty much a stretch. I've only known you, Peter, now for probably 6 or 7, I don't know, years, 6 years, but you and that pink beard, you exceeded anything I ever thought you had in you for the team. And I just want, if anyone ever accuses you of not being a team player, you pinked up your beard. So I'm happy for you. I do not have a lot to tell you. I will be out of the office on Friday and Monday, and then Tuesday, of course, next week is a holiday. I had a meeting with San Lorenzo Unified today. I'll fill you in one-on-ones. We had interview from Brienne, Gala, who's been contracted by Supervisor Miley's office to survey about an unincorporated Alameda County committee or office or position or something within the county. So I think we gave her good feedback. Megan, myself, Nicole, Adrian, were meeting with her. Thursday evening, Parks and Philanthropy is at the Eden Mansion from 5:30 to 7:30. Hopefully you can make it if you can. It's being hosted by Lori Taylor, current foundation president. On Wednesday morning, the 12th, at like 7:45 or 8 a.m., we'll be hosting the ASCDA at Cherryland. We'll be doing a very brief presentation on the district and some of our better work. And then we have Alameda County Special Districts, the Disaster Council, Sheriff Sheets coming in to talk about the role of special districts in a disaster. And I think there's a 10-minute talk they added on, I don't remember what. Do you remember? Yeah, it's okay. They put that in today. So our presentations and that may run over a few minutes into their regular updates, but that was added today after we did all this work on these presentations, and we're gonna just plow forward with what we were gonna do, so you know.
Jim, is there a tour? Sometimes they
Yes,
hosting-
okay, almost there. The last thing that will occur is they will get to see the carriage house in the garden because we'll be at Cherryland. So we'll take them out and show them the ag history stuff. That's at the end of the day at 10.
Hey, good evening, Honorable Board of Directors. Adrienne Lee Bird, Director of Recreation Arts and Community Services. Just a couple items. This past Saturday, we had a nice VIP at Adobe Park with 40 volunteers. And on Sunday, we had our final Sunday Fun Day with about 140 visitors for our dance band. And we brought out the stage for that. And later this month, but we'll send you dates, we will be having a family ceramics day as well as a free teen ceramic series. So that's coming up. Thank you.
Great.
Good evening, Honorable Board. Megan Tiernan, Capital Planning and Development Director. Work at the Hayward Plunge started today, so that's is progressing. And then on Wednesday, the bids for Ashland East 14th come in, so we're excited about that as well.
Good evening, honorable members of the board. Dwayne Taylor, Parks and Facilities Maintenance Director. Just have two updates. First being Taper Park, as Jim mentioned earlier, we began retarping the hillside Monday. It was supposed to be completed today. So I'll be going out tomorrow to confirm that, but we're really excited about that because we're scheduled to get rain on Wednesday. So hopefully we have some reprieve from any future hillsides because of that. Second thing is Sorensdale. So the fire in room 12, we're we're about to cross the finish line on that one. So we've done all our rough in work. We have the cabinets are being installed this week, and then we have our final flooring will be installed on November 24th. Final cleanup December 1st, and then we should have our final inspection on December 8th. So right in time for the holidays. So I'll keep you updated on the progress and how we stick to that timeline. Thank you.
Sorry about that. President Andrade and Honorable Board of Directors. That we did start the third part of construction at San Lorenzo, and so you can't enter from the front gates. So you'll need to enter the other two areas to enter into San Lorenzo. So we'll open the far gate by the new playground and then the gate on the other side. Also, if you are planning to attend the Cache Valley Light Parade, if you could let Christy or I know this evening, that would be wonderful. And then all of the dates and information will be coming to you in your newsletter this week.
Thank you. Keeps you awake, yeah. Okay.
I used to have one, but took it away.
Yes.
If there's no other comments, then I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Next meeting is November 17th here at the district office.
Thank you, Les.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to the video. Turn that bell off.
Okay, well, apparently.
Hanging up.